Hey guys, it's Chess and Games 51 back with another game from the Ivory Coast 2019 chess tournament from the Grand Chess Tour. Okay, so this game is between Vachier-Lagrave and Carlsen Magnus. Okay, so he opened up with c4, uh, meaning the English opening was to come, and Magnus Carlsen responded with his favorite response to this, c5. The game continued with knight of 3 and knight of 6, both players developing their knights. And this is followed by knight c3, and then coming with e6. Carlsen wants more control over the center on the square of d5. So then Vachier-Lagrave then plays g3, wanting his bishop to come out to be g2. So then after Carlsen plays b6, he does just this with bishop to g2. And then black also fianchettos his bishop by playing bishop b7. So now white castles on the king side, and then black responds with bishop e7, getting ready to castle his own king. White now plays b3, wanting to fianchetto his other bishop as well, while also protecting the c4 pawn. Okay, so now after black castles, he plays bishop b2, and after d6, this seems like an mostly equal position. But Vachier-Lagrave then now plays e3, implying that d4 is to come and to take control of the center. So here Carlsen played knight b to d7, which is a good move, and then but now, even though Vachier-Lagrave could have played d4, he now plays queen e2, wanting to develop his queen. Now Carlsen just developed his pawn and improved his position with a6, also implying on a future count of b5. Also, this improves his pawn structure. Now, uh, he Vachier-Lagrave could play rook f to e1, but instead he decides to play d4. So then Carlsen responds to this threat with knight to e4, attacking the knight. He's sort of ignoring this d4 move. Now, like the best move, also the engine move, Vachier-Lagrave plays rook f to d1, and then after the trade of knights, black plays queen c7. Well, or not queen c7, he plays bishop e4. Queen c7 was the ideal move in this position. However, it continues with rook a to c1, then rook e8, and bishop h3. So after this, Carlsen actually tried out a new idea. So queen c7, developing his queen and implying a rook move coming up soon. So now white plays knight d7, attacking the bishop and forcing it to retreat, which happens in the next move where Carlsen plays bishop to b7. So now white plays e4, and now Carlsen decides it's the time to develop his other bishop as well as apply more pressure on d4, and he plays bishop f6. However, Maxime needs to protect this d4 pawn now or move it forward, so he decides to take the first knight, and with knight f3 he added two defenders to the d4 pawn. So it is quite clear that Vachier-Lagrave has more control of the center, but this is still an almost even game. So now Carlsen could always take c takes d4, hoping to open up the center as well as giving himself the c file and gaining control. And he will possess two center pawns while Vachier-Lagrave will only possess one. But Carlsen decides here to play b5. Now Vachier-Lagrave plays c takes b5, a takes b5, and now with the c pawn gone, he could at any point just play. He shouldn't play d takes c5 because then his another central pawn will be gone. So now, however, he still plays d takes c5, but this is quite a drawish. We'll go into a drawish endgame. But Carlsen decides to play bishop takes c3, the best move in this situation. And then after rook takes c3, he plays another engine move, b4. So after this move b4, Vachier-Lagrave plays rook c2, retreating his rook, but not all the way. So now Carlsen plays d takes c5, taking back the pawn. And now Vachier-Lagrave plays queen e3, applying pressure on the pawn on c5. However, now black plays h6, and then but Vachier-Lagrave responds with bishop to f1. However, Carlsen wants the control of the diagonal, so now he plays bishop a6. But now Vachier-Lagrave is not going to take the bishop, but so he instead plays rook c to d2, applying pressure on the d7 knight, and now he has to move it. And now Carlsen plays knight to f6. Now Vachier-Lagrave takes with bishop takes a6, and then after rook takes a6, Vachier-Lagrave plays rook c1, bringing his rook back and applying more pressure on c5. Now Carlsen's ideal move is rook to a5, but instead, obviously this is a blitz game, so he may make some inaccuracies. He played rook e to a8, but this is still not too bad. So now he takes advantage of this and takes this pawn on c5. So after rook takes c5, now black plays queen a7, obviously wanting that pawn. Oh, whoops. So after this move, he plays queen a7, obviously wanting to get that pawn. So now he plays rook d to c2. Now the follow-up for this would be rook c8 check, and then a trade of material. So after rook to a2, this is exactly what happens. Rook c8 check, king h7, and now queen takes a7, and rook takes a7. So here, he the engine move is knight d2, and this is what he played. And then this is followed up with knight to g4 by the black knight. Now Vachier-Lagrave responds with king g2, improving his king as well as getting it out of that dangerous line of fire. So now black plays knight to e5, and white responds with f4. This is not the best move, but Carlsen doesn't respond with the best way either and just plays knight d3, and the game carries on regularly. Now white plays king f1, which is another ideal move. But here the best move should be rook to a8 for Carlsen, but instead he played rook a1 check, and this is his first mistake. Now Vachier-Lagrave plays king e2, and then after rook d7, protecting the knight, it is possible for white to play knight f3, which is the best move in this situation. So Carlsen now plays rook to b1. So now Vachier-Lagrave responds with rook d2, obviously attacking the knight, and now the only way to protect it is rook takes b3, but instead he plays rook to b2, another mistake. So now what he didn't realize was after rook takes b2 and knight takes b2, knight e5 actually attacks the rook, but also while also so now after rook d1, which would have been the best move, but Carlsen plays rook d4, another bad move. However, Vachier-Lagrave lets go of his grip by playing king e3, which is a blunder. However, he still has this game in his hand, and he's in the driver's seat. So now after black plays rook to d1, Vachier-Lagrave plays knight takes f7, and now he's up a pawn, and that's obviously why he's possibly winning. Now Carlsen makes another huge mistake, and he plays rook e1 check, which is a really big blunder. So now after king d4 and king d6, and king d6 should be the move, and now he makes another blunder, rook to e2. So now Vachier-Lagrave should be playing f5 here, but instead he plays h4, and he doesn't take advantage of this as much. So then the game is still in Vachier-Lagrave's hands, but it could go anywhere. But now, so then Carlsen plays the best move here, king to g6. After this, Vachier-Lagrave plays knight e5 check, which is the correct move, and is responded to by king h5. Now, white plays rook g8, obviously not the best move and decreasing his lead by a lot. But now black should be playing knight d1. However, he makes a mistake and plays rook d2 check, which gives them a pretty big limit. Later, however, so the game goes on, and after king e3, rook c2, rook takes g7, rook c3 check, king e2, knight d1, g4 check, king takes h4, king d1, king g3. This game is lost, and it goes on to the end where Carlsen resigns. Okay, so this is it for this game. Hope you had a good time, and this is Vachier-Lagrave versus Carlsen Magnus, and Maxime is a giant killer.